Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning. Just about 20 minutes to 9, Colorado time, Sunday. Overcast, misting. It's been raining all night. Supposed to rain all day. And then rain all night again till tomorrow. So we've got some weather in here. The temperature's not bad. It's 53, so it feels pretty good, actually. The night was pretty comfortable. So, how is everybody? I hope everybody is well and doing well. I want to talk to you today about exceeding your expectations. I just got a fresh cup of coffee, decaf, you guys, decaf, and it's pretty hot, and so I'll probably sip on that a little bit till it cools off. But exceeding your expectations. You know, I listened to some YouTube videos yesterday, and I listened to some podcasts yesterday from different people, various sources, inspirational challenges to accomplishing things beyond our expectation. And it was really kind of cool. And I thought, well, that's a good topic. Maybe we need to touch on it and talk about it and see what people are doing to challenge themselves. So we'll keep it, I guess, in particular to this program for right now, and knowing me, I'll probably wander off into something else in a little bit, but you know, healing and wellness is pretty important. And it's not a matter of, hey, this guy just caught a fish. It's not a matter of, you go to the doctor and take a pill and you get better. Actually, you go to the doctor, you take a pill and you get worse. I'm sure wouldn't advise all that medication stuff. And sometimes the medical people do wonders, and they're outstanding, and I applaud them in everything that they do. But sometimes what they're doing just is not working for your particular disease, illness, sickness, diagnosis, right? And so then we have to revert back to, are we doing our program? Are we doing our program? And as I've been talking about, I guess the theme for the past week or 10 days has just been about the mundane approach that people take to life, to wellness and healing, to their program, if they have a program. And in part of what we're doing, we need to visualize or design a future about what we look like and about what our life looks like. Right? And we want to be as creative as we possibly can be in our minds, visualizing and designing who we want to be. So, example. Use myself. This is the fun side of me. I would like to be very good at being a saltwater fly fishing person. And it's tough down there. You got wind and you got, big ocean and heavy stuff, and it's not like throwing in a little brook up in Colorado where things seem to happen pretty well. And so I have to paint this picture and visualize being that expert at fly fishing on the salt. And it's great. It's a great picture, and I'll look at it, and I will admire the desire to be like that. But sometimes, and this is kind of important, sometimes I get to where it's not happening, I'm not down there, I'll just move on to some other thought about what I'm doing that particular day or whatever, and I'll put aside my design of the future being this expert fly caster on the salt. So, and we all do that in whatever our visualization is and whatever our design is. It doesn't matter. We all do that, right? We all get to a point to where, it isn't happening. We're not becoming that person, and we lose some interest. Here's what I'm thinking. What are you doing to challenge yourself elsewhere? What are you doing to produce the drive, the adrenaline, the imagination, the curiosity, just the overall joy of the thought, right? Of being who you want to be. You get a clear picture of who you want to be, yes, and then you need to find ways to keep that motivated. Now, here's some of the ways that some people do this stuff. And it's not particular to anyone in particular. I think Tony Robbins did this in some of his, I don't know if you call his stuff workshops or seminars. When you would go and spend a few days with Tony and his program, whatever his program was. I never did understand that. But, he would have you walk across coals of fire. That would sure motivate you, wouldn't it? I mean, you'd sit there and think, gosh, if I could just do that, I could do anything. There's an outdoor program called NOLS, Northern Outdoor Leadership Service. It's for younger people. It's out of Wyoming. I think Paul Petzl developed NOLS. And it's how to challenge younger people to accomplish things they can't imagine. And then when they're done, they look back and they say, if I could do that, I could do anything. What's another one? Another one is Outward Bound. That was pretty popular for a long time, along with NOLS. I attended both of those, but Outward Bound was the same thing. You retreat up to, the original one was up in Leadville. Leadville's at 10,000 feet. And they had a school up there. And they would, do spectacular things. Like in the middle of winter, do a 10-mile hike. Or sleep with no tent in the snow and a blizzard, you know, all night or every night. You know, they teach you how to um, burrow down in the snow without making, you know, a snow cave or anything. Although they did teach you how to do snow caves, and you would learn how to stay warm in your sleeping bag in the middle of winter at 10,000 feet, snow, storm, or not. There's another one. What was that one? You know, the popular one in the last 10 years seems to be, they call it a ropes course. Ropes course. And they have these telephone pole type things with ropes stretched between them in various ways. And your job was to climb and then proceed through the above ground ropes course, which was fearful. And if you had a fear of heights, it was terrifying. All of these programs put you in a position that terrify you. Well, I guess some of those courses did that, but some of the courses also did like rappelling and rock climbing down faces of cliffs and whatnot. And again, a lot of people just said, oh, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to do that. That's too dangerous. That's too scary. And of course, the instructors would attempt to work you through your fear so that you would face it and then be willing to do the task, overcome it, be elated, and the first things out of your mouth is, if I can do that, I can do anything. Right? So I guess my question to everybody out there, and again, I know you're all processing what I'm saying and thinking, you know, what have I done like that has challenged me to the point of I'm terrified with so much fear, but I accomplished it. Well, here's one I did way long time ago. I had a fear of heights, and I don't know, this would be back in the early 80s, like 81 or something like that. I'd have to go back and look. And I am fascinated with airplanes. Always have been. So what I did is I went down to the airport, asked them how much it would cost to get an introductory flight. You know, they let you kind of take the plane off and attempt to land it and fly it a little bit. You know, it's just a 15-minute flight kind of thing. I think you circle the airport a couple times or whatever. And the instructor is right there. Of course, they have full control of the plane if they need to, and they make sure, you know, you're not going to crash, but they're trying to just get you to like the whole sensation. And it was reasonable because it was either very, very cheap or free. I'm not sure which. And in turn, they wanted you to become a student and learn how to fly. Back then, learning how to fly was pretty cheap. I think Cessna had a school. You could do the whole school for under $600 and, you know, have your private pilot's license. And I went and I did the introductory flight. Scared, terrified, frightened. Got in the plane, feeling myself around, patting the plane, just not quite sure what was going to happen. And, he explained everything, and I did everything I was supposed to do, and went down the runway, and that was a sensation. And then, what do they call it? Started liftoff, and it was the coolest thing in the world. It was the most fun. I had never been that happy before in such a long time. And I immediately, when we were done, thanked the instructor and asked if I could sign up to become a student. Oh, I know what it's called when you take off. It's called rotate. Rotate is when you lift the yoke up and, the front end and the tires start coming up off the ground and you're flying. So that was another challenge I did for myself. And again, when you're done with the whole thing, you say to yourself, gosh, if I just did that, I could do anything. So enough examples, yeah? You guys get the idea of what I'm talking about. Coffee is just right now. It's decaf, you guys. It's decaf. So when we're working our program, are we challenging ourselves enough to stay out of the mundane, things aren't working, we'll just go back and do this sort of approach? Or are you putting challenges in your life that excite you and frighten you to the point that achieving them makes you almost feel supernatural? Right? And that's a Dr. Joe Dispenza word. He doesn't have there's the word patent and copyright, I guess it's called. He doesn't have a copyright to the word, so I can use it. But I think it's a great word that he came up with, being supernatural. Because we do have abilities far more than we imagine. And we can do things that we think we can't. I was listening to his video, and again, please go listen to his video. He has a YouTube thing out. Yesterday, I believe it came, and it's just wonderful. It's about what I'm talking about. I don't remember the title or the words that they used to introduce it, but it's a wonderful video, and he does an incredible job, challenging people in his week-long workshops to do things that they think they can't, and then once accomplished, they just marvel at. There isn't anything they can't do. One of the statements that he uses, and this is kind of a critique of his little YouTube that he has on right now, and it's also a critique of his workshop. Not my stuff, it's his stuff. But he has a saying, or he had a phrase that he used yesterday that really amazed me. And I thought, that is incredible for you to say that. to your students. And it was, he does a walking meditation in all of his workshops. That's a really important aspect of his program. And the program. I just think walking meditations allot you so much time and energy to focus on your design of your future self. But what he said that caught me was, when you go do your walking meditation, walk as if in 1 hour you're going to be healed. Walk as if in 1 hour you're going to be disease-free. Walk as if in 1 hour you're going to be the person you want to be, the person you're designing, the person you're picturing, your future self. What a marvelous, marvelous set of words, so provocative. And what does it do? It changes the energy of the people. Follow that? So here's the deal. They hear that. I mean, they've been working on designing their future self, and they have that clearly pictured in their mind, and they can clearly feel that picture, that visualization of their future self. And it feels good, right? It feels real good. And then to go and do the walking meditation, they change their physiology. They change their energy. They change their chemistry. They change their biology. They change their thinking. They might put their shoulders back. They might stand up straighter. They might walk with more authority. They might look straight ahead. They may not wander in thoughts or in body posture. They become more confident. They feel a sense of self-reliance. The picture of their future self becomes real, and they actually become that future self. And then when they come back from their walk, they can take that with them the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of their life. It's called transformation. That's not another Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's just a word that he uses. It's a good word. But at any rate, it's transformation. You're watching transformation. Same thing when you do all the different challenges that various workshops and seminars will encourage you to do and practice. Here's my suggestion and takeaway for today. I think what I've explained is pretty clear, and it absolutely has incredible benefits But here's what I would suggest. Let's say you're not in a program. You're just working your own program. You know, you have people like myself out here that coach and consult and encourage you to work different aspects of the program in self-healing. Being able to self-heal in a lot of cases. But yet you don't have a ropes course. You don't have a rappelling course. You don't have a nose or an outward bound. Or you don't have a whole bunch of coals to walk over. But you have to create that in your own daily life. Here's a simple. Boy, this is just so crystal clear. Right? I'm at my little park here that has a walk around this pretty gigantic lake, and I do my walking meditations over here. But if you don't have a place that you do your walking meditations, find one and start doing walking meditations as if in 1 hour you're going to be healed. You know, walking meditation should take about an hour. And when you're walking around there, walk as if you're already your future self. You know, I'm not saying, you know, go to the top of some mountain and sleep overnight in the snow. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but I am encouraging you to push yourself beyond your limits. And the walking meditation one certainly makes sense. Tony Robbins yesterday, I was listening to something of his, and he was just talking about try for, what did he say, 7 days to not have a negative thought. It's a different kind of a challenge, right? Yeah, sure. But that's okay. For 7 days, do not entertain a negative thought. And only visualize the future you. I don't know, I thought that was pretty much beyond belief, but maybe people ought to try to do that one just for 1 day. So, challenge yourself, you guys. The takeaway, obviously, is, the whole concept behind a ropes course or mountain climbing or flying. I mean, if you're scared of heights, just go down to the Cessna dealer and ask to take the intro flight. And I don't know, I think it's darn near nothing for 15 minutes. It'll scare you, it'll challenge you, but when you get back, you'll be excited about who the other you is. Who the person is you want to become. I think about that every moment of every day. How I want to work on my transformation. And I want to be the person different than who I used to be. I don't believe in illness, sickness, disease. I don't believe in lack. And the new me is who I like. That's a good person. And I challenge myself every day to all kinds of adventures that I think I can't do. You guys need to do the same thing. Create challenges for yourself. So, okay, so I must be past my 1 minute. God bless everybody. Take care of one another. I'll look forward to talking to you all again real soon. See you all. Bye.